Welcome back to the PI show. We were discussing a case before the break about a Victorian policewoman who didn't succeed in court, alleging harassment and bullying at work in the Victoria Police. Now, I agree with you, Tony, that it fell over on its on a lot of arguments about what was said and what was done, and whether she was really, in truth, harassed and bullied. And the defendant said the culture in the Victoria Police, it was in St Kilda Road, was good, was positive, and she said there were real problems while she was there. As you say, a lot of witnesses called. The culture of the police, the judge made some comment about the culture of the police trying to protect people. So she failed, but the court said if you can prove harassment and bullying at work, then you can succeed. It's a serious matter, and that there's a duty of care by the employer to stop bullying harassment, and if bullying harassment at work takes place and someone is injured, they do have a claim. Now, in this case, they just couldn't prove that the bullying and harassment did take place.
Well, a lot of the incidents that she was seeking to rely upon, I thought, were reasonably trivial.
Well, that's what the judge said, but that's an unfair characterisation.
No, and also
it's unfair.
A lot of the things that she was complaining about were things that weren't directed at her. There was
she was an observer.
Yeah, she observed. You know, there was a conversation that two police officers had sex on the way home from. Big deal. There was some conversation about oral sex. Big deal. There was some issue about. There was some issue about an air hose incident. You know, suction and between. It's all rubbish.
Well, that's what the judge found. Those incidents might have taken place. We don't know.
You know, something about a witch. You know, hair was dark. So what? You know.
Well, you know, she was vulnerable. She was sensitive.
There was pornographic videos in the workplace. I mean,
that was in dispute.
Yeah. Well,
that was in dispute.
I think the judge actually found that was probably something that the superiors did lie about. Yeah. I don't think he believed the perpetrators or alleged perpetrators.
Yeah.
I think he said that that's something that probably did happen. There were videos in the workplace.
So X-rated videos.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean,
and the only thing of any probably significance was allegedly the supervisor or superior for a football ladder.
Well, it was in good fun, wasn't it?
Well, she says it was pretty vicious.
Malicious.
Yeah, malicious. And there was something about a disabled parking permit where...
Well, that led to a resignation, and then she had significant psychiatric problems, but the judge found that none of the bullying, that there's a lot of factors, and none of the bullying and harassment that was actually proved caused her injuries.
Maybe these incidents were a lot worse than what they came out in court, but they didn't come out that way. So it's
not enough. Yeah, not enough witnesses, and people didn't document them. She didn't complain.
Well, the whole department came in to give evidence. I think there was 26 in the department. I think they probably got 20 to give evidence.
Yeah.
And one of them actually turned on her. One originally was, and she was declared hostile. In other words, then they cross-examined their own witness.
Yeah.
Because she went in there with one story and changed it.
Yeah.
And said there was no bullying. So it was interesting.
Yeah. But this case is part of disputes in Victoria about what's called serious injuries.
Yep.
Because unless in Victoria you have a serious injury, you can't sue for negligence for people who are at fault in the workplace. So the first cases in Victoria to decide serious injury was decided in 1991 by the Victorian Court of Appeal.
I think it was an 87 accident.
87 accident, 1991 decision, and 5 cases went before the court, 4 lost, and 1 person got up.
Well, Harry, 4 lost in the Supreme Court of Appeal before 3 judges, but I think 3 or 4 of them actually won before a single judge.
They lost though.
And then when they got to the Court of Appeal, they lost. Humphreys and Poljak is the leading decision. It's
but I mean,
the labourer, the 47-year-old labourer that had a nasty leg injury.
Yeah.
And what do you reckon he lost, Harry? What do you think? What do you think he lost? It was unfortunate.
All the medical evidence that was presented was inconclusive about what was happening, and I thought the court said he had chronic pain. They didn't quite believe
well, they didn't deal with prognosis properly. That's what I think.
They didn't believe all the medicine.
Yeah.
So he presented as a cripple, and the court said, "Oh, look, he's not as bad as he's making out."
Well, his leg was shortened by quite a few centimetres.
It was, but the court felt he was exaggerating. And the court said, "Oh, look, we're not going to believe this person. He's exaggerating. He had a walking stick. He was in chronic pain."
But do you think that if they had presented some more evidence, because there was
it was a tough court. Well,
the court said that they had nothing up to date from the treating surgeon, which I think weighed heavily against him.
It's a tough court. Yeah. But he lost. There were 3 other people who lost. One person got up. How come?
An engineer, 57-year-old engineer. This is a bloke that was walking up and down stairs, doing a relatively light job, but one of the doctors, and I think it could have been one of the defendant doctors, said that he's probably going to develop arthritis in his knee and he'll probably need a knee replacement. He was 57. There was no, I think they didn't say he was going to lose any time off work.
But he had a car accident and he had a damaged left knee. He had time off work, and then as an engineer, he went back to work full time.
Yeah.
Why does he have a serious injury? Had very little time off work.
On the balance of probabilities, which is how we assess these claims, he was going to develop arthritis. That's what the doctor said.
So
and
what?
May need a knee replacement.
What?
That's the reason why he won.
So what?
They actually said that.
Why is it serious?
It is serious.
Why?
As far as I'm concerned, Poljak was serious too.
Well,
I think he was very unlucky.
Oh no,
he was very unlucky.
No.
Yeah. I think, and what people have got to look at is this. But it's not the actual injury that's got to be serious. It's the consequences to the person. You've got to look at the person.
But the engineer who got up, he walked 10 miles. He could drive. He could do full-time work. All the factors pointed out. His lifestyle wasn't really affected by that injury.
No, but the court was heavily influenced by the fact that one of the doctors said he needed surgery to replace his knee in the future, on balance of probabilities.
So
I think that's significant.
Is it?
It is. Yeah, it is.
So that's a serious injury?
I reckon all day long.
Okay.
Every day.
All right. That's all we got time.
And I still think Poljak was serious.
No,
I think he was unlucky.
No. That's all we got time for. We're having a short break. We'll be back after the break.